Hello and welcome to the next video. In this video I want to talk about an experience I had while living in Osaka, Japan. I'll call this the Quiet Temple. So, as I mentioned in prior videos, one of the things that I like to do while I was living abroad in general, but especially when I was living in Japan, is on my days off just go around and urban explore. So go from my train station stop area, Gotenyama, and go in either direction, either more into Kyoto or closer or further into Osaka, stop at a station, walk around, or just walk around from Gotenyama, take some pictures, explore different, go down one particular street, see what's there, go down another street, or go on Google Maps. Okay, what sites are around me, which places have I been to, which places haven't I been to, and so on. And that's how I figured out my day. One particular day, I decided to go into Hirakata, which I know is not that far, it's one stop away. But I remember that there was some kind of shrine I had seen just off the train line that would go south past Hirakata. And decided, okay, let me just walk there. So started walking that direction, cut through the downtown area of Hirakata, took this little path that eventually, through the neighborhood that eventually led up to this temple or shrine. And arrived there, took a few pictures here and there, and it was it was pretty empty. I don't recall anyone being there. It was open. The grounds looked well maintained. It looked like a lot of typical temples in the area. The wooden architecture, all that kind of stuff. If I haven't already posted up pictures in this video, I'll go ahead and do so now, so you can kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about. And of course, it had this, since it was up on a hill, had a view going down where you can see the Keihan train line or some of the other train lines just going back and forth. So just kind of hung out there, enjoyed the quiet, and the urban exploring and seeing something different. One of the things that a lot of these places have is they'll have these, I guess, vases, for the lack of a better term. They're generally filled with water, and I'll have to look up to see what the significance is. But I imagine there's a spiritual earth-water kind of connection to the whole thing. And sure enough, this place had it. Now, what was interesting is I happen to look, and I see something in the water. And I just kind of peek in, and I see there's this little whitish thing floating on the water. So I take a closer look, and I realize it's a moth. And I go, oh, poor guy, he's probably dead. He's just, his wings are spread. It's really tiny. Wings are spread, and he's not moving. I wonder if he's alive. So at a certain point, I just kind of get my index finger, put it just slightly under him, and lift him up. And I happen to see some movement. And I go, oh, this guy, he probably fell in the water. Now he can't get out, or he went to grab a drink, and he's basically floating, almost drowning into this thing. So, of course, I go ahead and lift him completely out of the water, put him off to the side, gently, as gently as I can, and just kind of sit there and wait, and to see if, he's able to dry off and recover. And sure enough, after a period of time, he did dry off, he did start flapping his wings, and away he went. And I know a lot of people are already making the connection to what I'm going to say about this, so it's very metaphorical, that experience. Here's this lonely little creature who got himself in a bit of a jam, who was probably going to die until some other larger being came in and, out of curiosity, looked, pitied him, pulled him to safety, and let him go on his way. And probably one, definitely one of the, at least for me, and I'm not tooting my own horn, I'm not patting myself on the back for this. It could have been anybody else who would have done this. But it's very inspirational to think about that's how, and regardless of how you think about deities and whatnot, it's a perfect example and an inspirational example about how sometimes in your life you're stuck, you're in a bad position, the chips are down, you're in dire straits, and out of nowhere, something or someone comes along and gives you a little help just so that you can continue on your way. So it's an experience and a lesson that I'll never forget, and hopefully you won't either. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.